Oil, gas, corn, ethanol, the relationship between them complicated and one that inspires passion across this country. Ethanol supporters say one thing is clear. They're helping, not hurting energy and food prices. We want them to make the case. And we wanted to go through here, we were talking about for viewers, and take some of the most conventional pieces of wisdom out there and give you a chance to debunk them, make your case. So, Scott, let's start with you. I have a $1 bill. I'm going to spend it. How much of my money going to food, to some piece of, to an apple, to a tomato, to a corn, is coming from energy as opposed to corn prices?
Well, the biggest thing that people miss is the fact that energy prices have a dramatically bigger impact on the cost of the food that they buy than does the raw grain cost. The raw grain cost is about 19 cents of every dollar that people spend on a product of food. Over 50 cents is driven by things that are related to energy costs. And that's why when energy prices increase, they have a much bigger impact on the cost of food that people buy at the store than the increase in the price of corn or other grains.
So, Wendy, and to this point also, when you look at how much corn we have in this country, the other thing that we always hear about, and people say consistently, 30% of this country's corn supply is going to fuel and not food. And how, if that is the case, can we say that that's not a problem? That if food prices are up, we should be putting that towards food. And I think that you have some numbers here to show that we have more corn than we had a few years ago, even with ethanol.
That's exactly right. So we've been very successful in increasing corn yields in this country. And in fact, in any given normal year, we will have the ability to meet the demand for ethanol, for livestock feed, and for a growing export market. So the question is not, do we have enough corn? The question really is, how do we look at food production around the world? How do we really bring other countries forward so that they are producing crops at a much greater level than they are now?
Now, what about in terms of what this is doing for the average American? The other thing we keep hearing is ethanol hasn't cut the cost of gasoline. At least that's what most Americans would say, because as ethanol has come up online, gasoline prices have gone up to, what, $4, and in many parts of the country now $5 a gallon.
Yeah, I think actually if you look at a recent study that Merrill Lynch did, they believe that ethanol is saving 15% on the average American's gas bill. So today that's about $142 billion a year of savings. And the reality of it is if you took away ethanol and gas goes up 15%, and as we think about the tax credit and the subsidy, the tax credit is $4.5 billion that the actual purchaser and consumer of ethanol receives, not the producer of the ethanol. So that tax credit at $4.5 billion, a savings of $142 billion, I think it's a pretty good opportunity for America to have renewable energy and be a key component and part of the component of the U.S. gas supply.
Right, and just so viewers know, I mean, Barron's had done an interesting analysis that said if you buy about 1,000 gallons of gas a year, you know, if you drive just a regular car, you're saving $350 a year because of ethanol. So that's an interesting way of looking at it.